Okay, so I need to copy my X rule from this side of my line to this side of my line. Okay, so that I get a grade point here. And then I'm also going to copy the X rule from here to this line. Okay. All right. And then I need to edit delta this side of the line and clear X. Okay. All right, now I need to look at my Y rules. So my pocket width at top edge is grading 1/4 inch, and my pocket width at bottom of hand opening is grading 1/4 inch as well. Okay, so that means that this point here is going to have a delta Y of 1/8 inch, right? So this is total pocket width. So I'm going to do, so my smaller sizes are actually going to go up, which is positive. So I'm going to do 0.125 and 0.125. And my larger sizes are going to be negative. Okay. All right, and I'm going to do copy Y rule. So that's the same Y rule for all of these points. So I'm going to copy from this line to my hand opening line. Okay, I'm going to copy from here to this side, from this point to this point. So all of these intersection points are getting the same Y movement. Okay, I'm just making sure that all endpoints have the same rule. All right, and then this last point, I'm going to clear the Y and say okay. All right, so that is our pocket grade with the placement. Okay. All right, so technically we're stacking the pocket right here at the bottom. All right, if we stacked it in the center, this would look a little bit more uniform because we have the whole 1/4 inch at the top right now. Okay, but this is how it'll be placed on the body. All right, so the last thing we need to do now is trace off our piece. Okay, so we're going to do create. You could do any number of extract or trace. I'm just going to trace this piece. Okay, no internal lines. I'm going to plop it down and I'm going to call it 07 front pocket, and I need 1 in self. Okay. All right. I need to also just make sure that you have your mirrors. So I need to do a mirrored line. No notches on this line. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that open. My front and back, I'm going to click fold after mirror, and I'm going to open both of the, I'm going to mirror both of these lines. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to save my whole model. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've added file, create, edit model, add pieces. Click the model, click the pocket. Okay, so now I have front, back, sleeve, cuff, band, hood, and pocket. All right. Okay. All right, the last thing we need to do is create our measure chart. So I have a video on this already, but I'll go ahead and walk you through it for this project. Okay. So you're going to open up a notepad on your computer, blank. It'll just open as a blank page. You're going to take your graded spec and you're going to copy your points of measure. Okay. Control C. Open your notepad. Control V. Okay. Every point of measure should be on its own line. Okay. File, save as. Change the save as type to all files. Save this as your model name. .mct. Okay. Go back to your model, File, Measure Chart, Create. Navigate to wherever you just saved that MCT file, find the MCT file, and say Open. Oops. That's weird. It says they have different size lines, which is odd because I definitely applied the same grade rule to all pieces. Let me try again just to be sure. Okay, try this again. Create. Okay. I'm not sure why that happened. It may have been the pocket when I brought out the pocket. Maybe maybe it didn't have the right rule table assigned. If you ever get that error though when you're trying to open a rule table, it just means that one of your pieces doesn't have size line is what has to do with the rule table. So once you assign a rule table to a piece, it gets a base size, it gets a size range, it understands the size steps between sizes, etc. So that's what that error means. All right, so now we have our measure chart, so then we just need to go through and measure everything. So you click on the point of measure, and then you go to verify, and you start measuring. So for front length from high point shoulder, I'm going to use line length. I'm going to choose half of my band height, my center front, and my center front neck drop. Say OK. Back neck width, I have this line. I'll double this. Okay. Front neck drop. Oh, you know what? So you can't apply the same, you can't use the same internal line for multiple points of measure. So on my front length, I actually used the front neck drop line to measure my front length. So that's probably not the best thing to do. So I'm going to clear that row, and instead I'm going to create a new line from high point shoulder straight down. Okay, I'm going to go to grade and rule number, and here I'm going to apply the 3, and at the bottom I'm going to do an intersection X at this point. Okay, so now my front length, I'm just going to keep that highlighted. I'm going to go back to verify and hit line length, and I'm going to click this line and this, this line right here. Okay, so now what that did was I right-clicked first and cleared the row. Okay, clearing the row doesn't get rid of the point of measure, but once you then reassign the point of measure to new lines, it will free up this front neck drop. So now I should be able to click on the front neck drop and it will measure it fine for me. Okay, so I'm going to do the back neck drop, shoulder width seam to seam. Okay, I need to double this. Bust circumference. Sweep expanded. Okay, so the sweep expanded is at the bottom. Basically, the body will be eased into the band. The band will be relaxed. So the relaxed measurement will be this one edge of the band. Okay, all 3 of these need to be doubled. Bust, sweep, sweep, armhole front, back. Okay, sleeve length, bicep. Sleeve opening expanded is the bottom of your sleeve. Sleeve opening relaxed is your cuff. Front pocket placement from bottom seam. So for this one, I'm going to use straight. Okay, So you can use, doesn't have to be a already existing line, you can use your other tools. So I just measured straight from the bottom hem to the bottom of the pocket, and it went ahead and gave me the graded difference there. I'm going to do the same thing for front pocket height. I'm going to measure from this point to this point. Okay, you just have to right click OK twice. Front pocket width at edge, top edge. Front pocket width at bottom of hand opening. I'm going to measure this at the bottom of the pocket because they're the same. I'm going to double both of these. Half hood height, sorry, half hood width. It's this line. Oops, sorry, I messed that up. So if you do accidentally mess something up, click on the wrong thing. So on the front pocket width, I accidentally measured the hood. So you can just go back and reassign it here, okay? And then with the half hood height, it'll free that line up again. And then my hood height from center back is this line that we graded, okay? And just need to make sure this is doubled, okay? Make sure you have all the right doubling done. And then what you can do is go ahead and just take this entire thing, Control copy, Control C,